Hi, welcome back. Dr. Gelman here, and welcome back to my kitchen. Had a great workout this morning, and I got right into my kitchen again to start cooking for the week. I love sharing with you guys, and this has really been a good eye-opener for me to realize the couple of bits of advice that I'm going to give to you that I may not even do myself. And so this has been amazing because I'm going to go over fats today. And there's some really, really important things to do with storing fats properly, cooking fats properly. It's good. It's keeping me in check, so I make sure that my own health is optimal, and I hope that you will also take the same advice. So, as I said before in all my other videos, I'm going to remind you again what a balanced plate is. It's comprised of 4 different things. I hope you know this by this point. A healthy protein, a healthy fat, colorful vegetables, and a nutrient-dense carbohydrate. We went over proteins, we went over how to cook proteins, so now we're going to move on to fat. Now, there's actually a lot of really important information on fat, and I only have so much time with you. The biggest key, though, is to keep the quality of fat really, really good, because when you go into unhealthy fats and poorly processed fats, that's what's really going to cause you a lot of ill health. Remember last video I talked about AGEs and ALEs? Well, fats, when they're exposed to oxygen, will create those types of proteins and oxidative stress in your body. This is something we want to stay away from completely. So the way to do that is to follow this rule of thumb. Now, the only fats that I use while cooking are the following. I use olive oil. Okay, you always want to get the extra virgin olive oil on medium heat. You never want to cook this over 350 degrees in the oven or on medium heat on the stove top. Otherwise, it'll go rancid, and then it'll be unhealthy for you. I just started experimenting with avocado oil. This can go on higher heat. I wouldn't put it on more than 375 in the oven, but this has been an interesting oil to use while cooking. I use coconut oil a lot, and this is what I use for my high heat cooking. Only coconut oil. I will not use any other type of oil for high heat. In the coconut family, I use coconut milk. Now, this is a light coconut milk, but I want to tell you a little secret. Coconut milk that's light. All it is full fat coconut milk plus water. So you're just buying coconut milk and water. So if you wanted to buy the full fat coconut milk and just dilute it, you're going to save yourself some money. This was the only option they had at Trader Joe's this week. For snacks, coconut butter. These are just little squeeze packets. These are great to put in your purse. And the other oil I'll use is toasted sesame oil, but I usually dress this at the end. I don't usually cook with it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. Grass-fed butter. I like this brand. Kerrygold is another fat that I'll use because of the high nutrient content in grass-fed. Very different than any other type of butter. Avocados, okay, are my good types of fat. And then I've got my nuts and seeds. So I usually store in glass containers and put them in the refrigerator or the freezer. This is ground flax seeds. Now, if if heat is exposed to nuts and seeds, they turn rancid. So this is what I've been realizing. I actually keep these in the cupboard. I need to start putting them in the refrigerator so it'll last longer. But this is a good way to store them in some mason jars. I've got macadamia nuts here, Brazil nuts, and I always want to buy them in its raw state. The reason is because when they're roasted, they tend to use really poorly processed oils. I always stay away from vegetable oil. Those are really high heat processed. They go rancid very easily, not healthy for you. That's your corn oil, your soy oil, safflower oil, canola oil. These are really, really harmful for the body because it creates oxidative stress, and we want to have that as minimal as possible in the body. I could do a whole series on nuts and the goods, the bads about nuts, but really the overall idea is to keep your nuts down to a minimum of 1 serving a day. I also use almonds, I use almond butter, walnuts. I really just rotate them. Now, when it comes to salad dressings, I think like all salad dressings on the market, especially in the non-refrigerator section, uses vegetable oil. So instead, I will make my own dressing. I usually have to do it like once every 2 weeks, and that's fun to do. And the one dressing I found that has an olive oil base is this brand, Tessemae's. And I found this at Whole Foods, and now I just found it at Vaughn's, which is great. But if you can look for an olive oil-based salad dressing, that's going to be the best thing for your health. You do not want to eat your salad dressings that have vegetable oil, so look at the labels. Okay, so those are the fats that I use. Now, I'm going to show you what I cooked this week, and I'm going to show you how I incorporate fat into each meal. So, one of the first things that I made today is one of those quiche-less, quiches again. This is just stuffed with spinach, garlic, onion, shallots, and then I'm actually going to top it with some smoked salmon, some wild smoked salmon on top of it. And I'm going to make a pesto this week, which is going to be the fat added. I really wanted to do a pesto for you this week, but we had so much to talk about. So I'm going to do the pesto next week. And I love pestos. They make everything just so much more delicious, and the fat in them is really healthy and the flavor. So we'll go into that next week. Sorry for that delay. The other thing I made this week is like a fish stew with coconut milk. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but maybe you can get a little bit of an idea of what that looks like. So I use the coconut milk in there for my fat. The other thing is that I actually am doing my crock pot right now. And really the reason why I'm doing it now and not midweek is because we're house sitting, and so I won't have my crock pot, so I'm just going to do it ahead of time. This is like a wild game meat sauce. I'm using wild game because I used grass-fed meat I think last week, and I like to vary it up. I'll put that away later. And I top that on top of spaghetti squash. It's going to be one of our nutrient-dense carbohydrates. I'm going to talk about spaghetti squash when we get to the carbohydrates. And that's going to be a really, really great meal. Now, the fat in this is coming from the wild game. So, fats can also be included in your animal protein. That's very high-quality protein. High-quality animal protein is the most healthy fats that we know of. So, we need to either get our fats from those healthy animal products or some of these that I already just mentioned. Now, a lot of the times I'll make vegetables like this. So these are just green beans, and all I did was steam them. Now, after I steam them, I may take toasted sesame oil and dress it. I may take my olive oil and dress it with some lemon juice and some seasonings. I may even take a salad dressing and dress it. And throughout the week, I get to decide how I want to flavor them, because this is obviously more than one serving. So with different meals, they could taste different. And so all I do is we'll steam them, and then I dress it with the fat afterwards. Okay, I've got yams for this week. My boyfriend loves yams and some quinoa again, but it's just because he requests them. As far as the nutrient-dense carbohydrates. I got artichokes, and then in the refrigerator I have a lot of great raw greens. I still have some zucchinis and asparagus that I think I'm going to just make later in the week. I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat. Oh my goodness, I forgot the avocados. I see my bowl. Avocados. I hope I said that, because that's another really healthy fat. Okay, I think I'm set with at least giving you information about the quality of fat, because it's so important to just completely take your pantry, look in it. If there's anything that has vegetable oil in it, just get rid of it. Anything that has trans fats in it, they're called hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated fats, get rid of it. It is some of the worst fats for your health, and we need to replace it with healthier fats. And every meal needs to have some fat in it, otherwise it's not going to stabilize your blood sugar, stabilize your hormones, your moods, your brain chemicals, so that's very important. All right, it wraps it up. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with others that you know that will benefit, and I look forward to sharing more next week, especially about how I make my pestos. They're amazing. All right, enjoy your week and enjoy the food. Bye.